MCGuire is in studio this morning for you, of course, talking all of this, Chief Market Strategist, MXT Global. Pete, welcome. Just showing the gold price there, how much of a component are the hedges in having driven it up as far as it's gone?
Good morning, Brooke. Good morning, Carson. Yeah, it's had, as we know, a large build-up. It's been dramatic over the last couple of months, 1340, 1345 sort of range. No doubt the hedges have been all over it, and as far as options and futures contracts, net long positions are very, very strong. The other side, of course, is, and we can't take that away, is the geopolitical concerns in Eastern Europe and Ukraine. That's also feeding into it. And, of course, the bond tapering down 20 billion in the last 2 months. So all of that is the perfect recipe to see a little bit more momentum and movement. From a technical standpoint, I think it could be possibly exhausted a little bit to the upside. Let's just wait and see how it moves over the next, say, week or two.
Incredible bottom falling out of the nat gas market overnight.
You know, that market, yeah, exactly, down 8%, coupled with Monday night's losses, or Monday morning's losses here, Tuesday morning, I should say, in the NYMEX. It's down around about, 10.5 to 11%.
That's a correction.
Yeah, absolutely. A very large sell-off, largest in around about 6 years. But we need to understand that the thaw is starting to thaw as far as that huge polar vortex. They're still having some major issues over there, but we're seeing, the end of the expiry of the current futures month, and moving forward, you'll probably see prices drop from here a little bit more. It's a very wild market. It's probably the most volatile commodity market there is. And when you see movement, boy, oh boy, does it move.
So are people taking large bets on that market at the moment in terms of, I suppose, the hedge funds?
I think they will. In a market like that, you'd be shorting the market. They would have seen it that as far as that expiry time, as the futures market is closed, that particular month, it's rolled over to the next month. And you've just got traders, I'm sure, all over it, Brooke, saying, yeah, let's make $1 out of this.
So you've got, in some data that's come out, the net long position across 18 US traded commodities rose 18%. So they're not long on nat gas. What are they piling money into?
Well, the coffee market has seen a huge uptick, around about 65 to 75% in a matter of a month and a half. You've also seen many of those other grains, because of the drought conditions in Brazil, having major impact from the soys, the wheats, and, of course, what's going on here as far as gold. We saw energy prices well up, with crude oil rising the best part of $10 in a matter of a month and a half, so that's contributed. Of course, you've seen silver and other precious metals with palladium and platinum, and then the gold market's been just outstanding.
Question without notice, fresh developments out of Japan. They've reinstated, it seems, and reversed their nuclear policy, swinging in behind support for that as an important baseload electricity source now. So committing to nuclear uranium, what are you expecting? It's kind of almost a fool's response, isn't it? Because it's going to take off.
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. And, you just think of Japan is such a unique country, and they've been a wonderful devotee of nuclear power for all of its energy sources. It's the largest metropolis in the world. About 33, 34 million people inhabit Greater Tokyo, and huge drawdowns. I mean, you go there, you don't have issues normally with brownouts like you experience in other major cities like the Mumbais or the Shanghais. So I'm not surprised. And of course, it's a cleaner burning fuel. That smog in the air seems, just don't see that in Japan versus other countries with coal burning power plants. So that doesn't surprise me at all, even with Fukushima.
What else is on your radar?
The nickel price coming out of, look, the many pundits are saying because of those issues as far as Indonesia and banning exports as far as nickel, there's huge surpluses in the warehouses in China at the moment. That'll probably dissipate over the next couple of months as it works through the system. But going out to probably 15, we wouldn't be surprised to see nickel back above that 20 to 21,000 a metric tonne, and Vale predicting those sort of numbers. So I think that's certainly a talking point from a base metal standpoint.
Just also, as you say, by the Indonesians?
Absolutely, because it's the largest exporter.
I was just going to say, what about currencies? Because, currencies are so important to all the commodities trading. What are you thinking on the US dollar? We've just been talking it's been a bit stuck. Certainly the Australian dollar's been pretty stuck lately as well.
Exactly. It's been range bound. If you look at that US dollar index, I just think it's been very level-headed at around about 80 against the major trading partners, those 6 currencies that make it up. So I think what you'll see is probably more sideways movement until we see a definitive breakout on either side. It's too hard to... I mean, this is where the smart money, our money, it's certainly gone into equities, and it's very much front and centre in the commodity sector.
Pete, always a pleasure.
Great to see you, Carson.
Thank you.
All the very best, Brooke.
Thank you very much, Pete McGuire there.
OK, let's...